the relationship between graphing lines and the equation. Escape always gets you out of there. Okay, so we should all see this screen right now. I guess I missed a button. Okay, so we're going to look at, I just have to get your calculator set up. We're going to do this little investigation. And we're going to try and find some relationships between these equations that you see here and the numbers in the equation. Some of you may know the relationship. Okay, so is everybody here? So you're going to go to 1. And you don't want to save. If it's asked you to save, don't save anything. Okay? You're going to have to go to a new one. Or you can add a page. If you're in a calculator mode, we're not going to do the calculator. We're going to do the graph. So has everybody got this page here? Do you have that? Yeah, so select graphs. 2. Add graphs. And you should see a graph paper. Now before, we're going to add a graph. And I'm going to want you to copy your graph onto your piece of paper here as well. So we'll do the first one together. Okay? When you want to do a new graph, I would just add a page. How do you add a page? You press the control, and up here above doc, it says plus page. So I can add a page. So if I want to just do that, I can. Control, and add a page, and it's going to be another graph. So now I have 2 pages in my document. I have 1. This is problem 1, page 1. Problem 1, page 2. And if I want to go back and forth here, then I can use these arrow keys, but I have to use the control. So control, and then arrow back gets me back to page 1. It doesn't really matter, only if you just want to go back and look at those. Okay, so we're going to graph the first function, and it's all set to go. Now, this is a function. If you input a number, you get 1 answer back out, not 2. We always get 1. So that's an informal definition. So what we're going to do is we're going to graph y equals x. This is the y, and this is called function notation. So it's my first function, my first graph. They could have called it y1 in the 83s and 84s. They did. They now changed it to function notation. But this is what you call y right here. And y equals x. And see where the x is? It's right down here, at the very bottom of your keyboard. You press x. And you're going to press enter. Everybody should see a nice straight line like that. Y equals x. So you're going to press y equals x. And then press enter. You've got to put x in. There you go. Just like that. X is at the very bottom of the keyboard. It's right down here. I'm going to trip on this. Did you get it to go? Y equals x. So we're going to escape out of there because we don't want that. Just type in an x. It's a white key. It's kind of gray on mine because I've got the CAS. Yeah. And y equals x?
Just type it in.
I know, you did it right. What's Jake doing? So you're in Scratchpad. So we have to go in, and we're in a new document. And we're not going to save anything. Okay, tab. And we're going to add a graph. And type in y equals x. You just type in x. Okay. How are we going to investigate this? We're going to try and see what the relationship is between slope and that graph. And then something else called a y-intercept. There it goes. So when you have a graph, and you have a line, or any kind of picture, you could have a circle even, or whatever, there's my line. This, where the line crosses the y-axis, is called the y-intercept. How many of you watch football? Pass interceptions. What happens? The guy comes in and crosses the other guy's path, takes the ball, right? That's exactly what this is. It's where these guys intersect. Okay, it's called the y-intercept. There's something special about that ordered pair, but I'll let you think about it. And that line definitely has some slope to it. It's got a slant. Do you remember how to find the slope? It's rise over run. And you did fairly well on the slope part of the test especially. Rise over run is your slope. So I'm going to have you take these graphs and we're going to read the slope and the y-intercept off of the graph. But we have to get some things set before we can do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to press menu. See where menu is right here? Evan, you see where menu is? It's right up here. We're going to press menu, and that gives me all the things that I can do on this kind of page in my calculator. And I'm going to go to trace. Figured out, I had to play with this for a second. So we're going to press 5 for trace. Did you press menu? Do it with me. You're not going to remember the steps. It's written at the top of your sheet, sort of. Trace is 5. See 5? Press 5. So you have that. Press menu, and then we're going to do 5 trace. So you should see another menu come up. You see 2 menus up there. So press menu. Menu's right here. And then you can do 5 for trace. Yeah. And what we're going to do, I don't know what a geometry trace is. I haven't found that one out. Is then we're going to select 3, the trace step. Because I don't know about you, but I don't want icky decimals. Do you? I want to find points on my graph. I do not. Nope. We're going to change the value. Okay, just make sure everybody's there before I go on. So press menu. And we're going to go back to our current document. 4. Menu is right there. And then you're going to do 5, trace. And we're going to go down here, and we're going to change our trace step. I'd like to have nice numbers. And you can change it, and as you do this, you might find something you want to change. Okay? Everybody select trace step. And then we're going to press enter. And I don't want it on automatic, because it'll give me these decimals. I don't like decimals. So, how do we get through this? Sometimes I don't always know. We're going to press, looks like it says press the right arrow, so I'm going to press the right arrow and see if it gives me an option. I pressed it twice. And then I'm going to go down with my down arrow, and I'm going to enter my value. So press enter, and then I'm going to put the value of 1 in. And I think either the arrow down or the tab key will get me down to OK. And when you get to OK, you press enter. So did you get the value? Enter the value? No. Yeah, try 1. And then just arrow down and see if that goes OK. There may be a variety of ways to get the 1 in there. So press menu. You're all done? Did you get it? Okay, just checking with everybody, because I know how frustrating it is when you get lost. Is he getting it? Did you get it, Evan? Let's see where you're at. Then you want to press, nope, we don't want automatic. We want to change that. That's what we're trying to do. So 3, and then we're going to put in 1. Okay, that should work. Has everybody got it now? Once you learn the calculators, they're really not bad. It just takes a little bit of time to learn them. You can't be afraid of them. So there's my equation, y equals x, and I want to get a couple points on this graph so that I can find the slope. Because I don't really think I can read this well enough. I tried to figure out how to get the grid on, then you could have counted, but I couldn't figure that out, so I said, okay, let's try this. It works nice. We're going to press menu, and we're going to press trace again. 5. And I just want to graph trace. I'm not going to change any of the settings. I already did that. So when you do this, you're going to do this every time. Enter. And look at that. They give me the point right there. And guess where it's at? It's down here in the right-hand corner. Does everybody see that? It should be in red. You should see 0, 0. So I'm going to write that down for one of my points. So please use the ordered pairs, the parentheses. 0, 0 is 1 point. Now, here's my little calculator. I'm going to just arrow to the right, or I can go left. It's up to you. And there it gives me another point. And see how they're nice numbers? If I did the trace and hadn't set it to a value of 1, it would have given me ugly numbers. There's 1, 1. Some of you are so good with slope, you know what to do with this. So you're going to record this on your sheet. You're going to record the graph. Please make it accurate since you have a grid there. And I suppose you could put them here. And then here's this is 1, 1. Now the question is, where does this cross the y-axis? This is the easy part. Where is that point? It's at what? Too easy. It's at 0, 0. We just tested on how I found slope. Either you can count since you know these ordered pairs, or you could use slope formula. It makes no difference to me. I want you to get slope out of this. So what is the slope of this line? We can subtract 1 minus 0 over 1 minus 0. What is that slope equal to? Adam, what is this? What's 1 minus 0 over 1 minus 0? Yeah. There's the slope. It's 1. There's the y-intercept. It is an ordered pair. It is a point. It is not a slope. And that's all I'm asking you to do on the very first problem. So you should have it written down. We're not going to go on until you write it down. Who doesn't have one? You should have 2 pages. You have staples. You have staples. Okay. This must be mine. Okay, should I go get... So that's number 1.
So it's point here.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter which one you do. And some of you may have chosen other points. That was for the one I did, but you could have done 2 too.
Right.
There are a lot of other ones.
Coloring time for this drawing the line. So you have that in there. Everything is up there. You got all the answers for number 1 up there. Right. And then blue on the right. So for the points, slope calculation, order pair, y-intercept, all that right there. Line drawing, points on that. Get the line of the graph.
And if you really want a ruler, I've got a couple of those. Or your calculator can work as a straight edge too, I believe. That works pretty good. It doesn't matter which one's which. If you are done, you can go on to the next problem in CLAD. So you need to have this filled out, you guys. Why you're not going to fill it out?
What?
You need to fill it out. All the answers are there. And what's the y-intercept? The y-intercept is 0, 0. Graphing calculators? You said you wanted to get one.
I like that, but I don't like these like worksheets that are very interesting.
No, I don't make them interesting. I make them educational.
That's not a good thing.
Well, maybe I only wrote it this morning in 5 minutes. So maybe next time I'll find some pretty pictures to put in there.
I drew with my iPhone last night.
You did what?
I wrote last
Riley.
night.
That's the y-intercept.
That's the one.
The ordered pair is, we're going to find something interesting about this. We may not get it all done today. If those of you who are done with this, go ahead and add a new page, because you really don't want the next graph on the same graph. It's too hard to read. I do have my own calculators of these, but they're not in color. Okay, do you have it? So what's the slope? Yeah, it's just one. And what's the y-intercept? It's where the y-intercept is where this line crosses the y-axis. So did you add a page, Riley? Oops, I don't want that. I want this. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do control. See where the control button is? We're going to add a page. I already did, but I'll add another one. Control, and then press this back key up here on the upper right under the home key. And that will add a page, and it's going to be another graph. And it says F2 of X. It keeps track of all my graphs. That's what's different with this than the 83 and the 84. I can't add pages on the 84. I just have to clear up my screen and do another graph is what I have to do. This I can keep. So if I want to go back and look at my previous graph, I can. Control and then back arrow. There it is. Okay, now to go back to where I was, I'm going to go Control and the right arrow. And now what are we going to type in for this graph? What's the next problem on our sheet?
Y equals
2x plus 3. X plus 3, press enter. And you can change the color. There's a way to do it if you don't want red every time. Can't really see the slope on that very well. So let's do, I don't think I have to change my trace, but we're going to find out. We're going to trace it, and we're going to find 2 points. It doesn't matter which 2 points. Trace. I'm going to find out, because I know what? I don't know. Oh, look at that. It starts at 0, 3. What's this point called? We're not doing that. We're doing this. Turn it over and get to work. No, we're graphing this one. 2x plus 3. Do you have it? You need parentheses around that. It's an ordered pair. And I already have the y-intercept right here. The y-intercept is where this line crosses the y-axis. Does anybody have an idea what this point's called? Close. What axis is this? That's the x-intercept. So I need that point. So I go ahead and write it down. I'm going to add a page, just to be clean. Y equals 2x plus 3. It looks like this. You know it goes through 0, 3. To be accurate, I can't because I don't have graphs. We used to. I don't know what happened to them. And we need to get these points. And you don't have to start at 0, 3, but I did. And then I want the slope, and I want the y-intercept. Well, the y-intercept is 0, 3, because that's the one where it crosses. That's right here. Now we need to get another point. Now I'm really going to find out if my plan worked. Do you guys remember what button I have to push next to get another point? Everything is in the menu. Okay, Dean, how do I get trace out of this? Oh, I already am in trace. Oh, I forgot to tell you this. Notice this little symbol up here in the corner? Jake? Notice that little symbol? That means I'm in trace. The way to get out of it is to press, the way to get out anything is press the escape key. Escape and get out of jail. But I'm in trace, so all I have to do is arrow over. Uh-oh, guess what? Those are not nice numbers. I guess I have to set it every time for every screen. That's not, I don't like that. So we're going to have to go back to trace step and make it 1. All you do is type in 1 and then go down to OK, press enter. There, that's much better. Look at my numbers. Can we go left? Oh, how about that one? You want to use negative 1, 1? There's the 0. That's the x-intercept. Negative 2, negative 1. It doesn't matter which point you use. Do you want to use that one? Or do you want to use 1, comma 5? Keaton, which one do you like? You like negatives? Most you don't like negatives. Why don't we use 1, comma 5? So this is 1, comma 5. How do you find the slope? I can count. How many am I going to go over on the x's? Dean, how many am I going to go over on the x's? No. I'm at 0. I'm going to go to 1. How many is that? 1. In fact, I'm choosing x's. The change in x will always be 1. And then how many am I going to go up on the y's? Jake, how many am I going to go up on the y's?
5.
No, I was at 3. I'm going to go to 5. How many squares? How many blocks is that? 2. What's the slope? 2 over 1. I want you to be looking at this equation and look at this information that we're getting. You will have to reset your trace to 1 every single graph. I don't know why it's set up that way. I will try to find out a way to keep it always at 1 instead of automatic. I didn't think of anything to do with the settings.
Making graph. That is.
Yes, but now you have to graph this one. So I'm going to come around and help you. Keep working. There's a lot of cool things you can do.